Congressional Library, the Library for Congress. Now, believe it or not, that library, the original Library of Congress, was right across the street in the Capitol building. And this is where it stayed until 1814, when during the War of 1812, right? As we know, the British set fire to government buildings, federal buildings, including the Capitol building. And the small area where the library was housed burned, and all of its contents were destroyed. Now, Thomas Jefferson, upon hearing about the loss of the materials, offered up his own personal collection for a fee, but he offered up his own personal collection. He was retired at this point, and he had been collecting books for about 50 years. So he probably had the largest personal library known at that time. Now, you would think Congress would say, great, this is amazing. The books are going to be replaced. But they initially rejected his offer, basically. Why? Because Thomas Jefferson had a comprehensive collection of books. In other words, he had books of all subjects, botany, for example, different languages, not necessarily books that lawmakers felt that lawmakers needed. And his argument was that Congress should have access to all information. And they said, well, gee, on second thought, he's got a point. So they accepted his collection for roughly $24,000. And he, in that offering, more than doubled what had been lost in the fire. And interestingly enough, the comprehensive way of collecting books and materials and anything that the Library of Congress has is actually the same way that Thomas Jefferson was collecting books. The Library of Congress collects a comprehensive amount of material. Different formats, all types, languages, so on and so forth. 7, voila, this is what was created. So if you look around, what you see is basically Italian Renaissance or Baroque art, and structurally, as evidenced by all of these archways, marble, the ornate marble, the columns, the murals, the statues. Basically, they wanted this to look extremely expensive. Basically, keeping up with the Joneses. Look what we have. Look what we can do. They commissioned 50 American artists to do the work that you see here, but obviously some of these artists studied under European artists because, this is what you see in Europe. And then there were other ethnic groups that contributed to the construction of this building as well.